Patriots fans have been waiting for good news on the injury front, and this week finally brought a reason to be optimistic. Christian Gonzalez was spotted back on the practice field, working in a limited capacity, but just seeing him in uniform moving around again is the kind of lift this defense has been craving. The young corner has been out with a tricky hamstring injury, the type that can linger if you rush it, and that has left the coaching staff with a tough call. Gonzalez himself made it clear that he never once hesitated about wanting to play, pushing back on whispers that he had been reluctant to return. He even admitted that he tried to make a push to play a week earlier, which shows how badly he wants to be out there. Still, as much as his energy is contagious, the final decision rests with the medical team and the coaches. They need to balance the excitement of getting him back against the risk of aggravating that hamstring and possibly losing him for a longer stretch of games. When you look at the Patriots' upcoming schedule, the urgency to have Gonzalez available becomes obvious. A matchup with Carolina is winnable, but it is followed by a tough run that includes the Bills, a trip to New Orleans, and then the Titans and Browns, both teams with physical defenses that can punish mistakes. This is not the type of schedule where you can coast, so any edge in the secondary could be the difference between stealing a win and falling further behind. Getting Gonzalez back in uniform as soon as possible might be the best-case scenario, but only if it means he is fully ready to contribute and not just rushing back at half strength. Meanwhile, the Patriots continue to explore ways to solidify their defensive backfield. The effort to land Jarvis Brownlee fell short, as the Titans ended up trading him to the Jets for a late-round pick, and while New England could have matched or even topped that offer, the front office held back. Perhaps they felt it wasn't the right time to spend, or maybe they still trust that their current group can hold the line once Gonzalez is fully healthy. That said, the struggles of Alex Austin have been obvious, and while Marcus Jones has stepped up, the need for reinforcements hasn't disappeared. That naturally sparks speculation about a reunion with a familiar name. Stephon Gilmore remains a free agent, and at 34 years old, he is in that stage of his career where he likely values one of two things above all else: a legitimate shot at another playoff run or a final big payday. Whether New England can offer either of those is a fair question. What is not in question is Gilmore's resume. A Super Bowl champion, former Defensive Player of the Year, multiple Pro Bowls, and a reputation as one of the toughest shutdown corners of his era. Players with that track record don't usually stay in sign for long, even if their best days are behind them. For the Patriots, a reunion would be less about a long-term solution and more about leadership, experience, and having a veteran who knows what it takes to win when the season gets tight. It might not happen right now, but as the season wears on, and if the secondary continues to battle injuries or inconsistency, that door could reopen. Adding more intrigue to the defensive conversation is the surprise release of C.J. Gardner-Johnson by Houston. Just months after trading a recent first-round pick to bring him in, the Texans cut ties following a rough 3-game stretch that left the team winless. Gardner-Johnson had been expected to bring stability and playmaking ability to their defense, especially coming off a season where he led the league in interceptions while helping Philadelphia reach a Super Bowl. Instead, he never found comfort in Houston's system and reportedly clashed in the locker room. His availability immediately drew interest from fans and analysts alike, many of whom pointed back toward Philadelphia as a logical landing spot. But when a player with that kind of ball-hawking ability hits the market, every contender at least picks up the phone. For New England, the fit is less clear. They like the development of Jalen Hawkins and Craig Woodson, and they may be wary of adding another strong personality who doesn't necessarily align with the culture. Still, Bill Belichick, or in this case, Mike Vrabel, has always said he will consider anything that makes the team better, and talent like Gardner-Johnson doesn't come around often. Even if nothing materializes, the fact that these names are being discussed shows just how aware the organization is of its vulnerabilities in the secondary. While the defense continues to evolve, the conversation in New England inevitably circles back to the quarterback position, and right now, Drake May is giving fans plenty to talk about. Through 3 games, he has already thrown for close to 800 yards, ranking among the league's best despite admitting that he hasn't played his cleanest football yet. The numbers speak for themselves. But what stands out even more is his poise. He has been thrust into a massive role early, and he has handled it like someone who has been here before. When asked about individual accolades, his response was simple: wins matter more. That kind of mindset is exactly what the Patriots have been searching for since Tom Brady's departure. A young leader who not only has the physical tools, but also says all the right things. The question now being asked across the league is just how high Drake may belongs in the current quarterback hierarchy. Some believe he has already cracked the top 15. Others are ready to put him inside the top 10. And there are even bold voices saying he could soon challenge the league's elite. When you look at the landscape, it is not far-fetched. Veterans like Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, and Russell Wilson are in the twilight of their careers. Others like Justin Fields and Tua Tagovailoa have shown flashes but remain inconsistent. Then there are young passers such as Bryce Young and Michael Penix who are still learning the ropes. Compared to that group, May already looks more polished, more decisive, and more capable of carrying an offense week to week. From there, the comparisons get even more interesting. Would you take him over Daniel Jones, who is having a strong start but has struggled with consistency for years? What about Sam Darnold, who has reinvented himself in Seattle but still has to prove it over a full season? How about Jordan Love, who has the Green Bay system working in his favor but doesn't necessarily have the same raw ability? These are the types of debates fans love to have, and May's emergence has thrown him right into the middle of them. Depending on your criteria, whether it's pure production, physical talent, or leadership qualities, you could reasonably place him anywhere from 9th to 12th in the league. That is remarkable for someone who has barely played a month of NFL football. And yet, what really makes May stand out is the way his teammates respond to him. The Patriots are not getting blown off the field. They have had their share of mistakes, penalties, and missed assignments, but they are in games. They fight, they claw, and they hang around, and a big reason is the presence of their rookie quarterback who refuses to back down. He lifts the huddle, steadies the sideline, and gives them a chance every week. That is the foundation of something bigger. And if the defense can get healthy and consistent, suddenly this team looks a lot more competitive than many expected. The buzz around Drake May is only growing, and part of that comes from the way he measures up against the quarterbacks who dominate conversations every single Sunday. At the very top, you still have the familiar names. Patrick Mahomes continues to be the face of the league, even if his supporting cast is thinned out and his numbers fluctuate from week to week. Lamar Jackson has been on fire, playing some of his best football, both through the air and with his legs. Josh Allen remains a force, with a rocket arm and the kind of physicality that makes him almost impossible to stop when he is locked in. These three have proven themselves in big moments, and no one is pushing them out of the conversation for now. Behind them, though, things get much more fluid, and that is where someone like May starts to enter the discussion. Take Justin Herbert, for example. For years, he has been pegged as a top 5 talent who just needed the right circumstances to win consistently. This season, he is showing why so many believe in him, elevating the Chargers' offense with his arm strength and precision. Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, doesn't put up massive passing numbers every week, but he makes winning plays and leads with confidence. He has already taken a team to the Super Bowl, something most quarterbacks never accomplish, and he does it with a style that is unique to him. Baker Mayfield is another fascinating story. Left behind by multiple franchises, he has reinvented himself and is playing with a swagger that fuels his entire locker room. He may not have the cleanest mechanics or the flashiest numbers, but right now he is one of the most effective leaders in the league. Now comes the fascinating part. If you line up the current group and start stacking them, Drake May is closer to these established names than many would have expected. He has fewer than 5 professional starts under his belt, yet already he is putting up production that rivals veterans with years of experience. He is not just padding stats in garbage time either. He is making throws in tight windows, converting on crucial downs, and keeping his team within striking distance against strong competition. Those are the kinds of traits that get noticed not just by fans, but by coaches around the league who study tape and understand how difficult it is for a rookie to look this composed. There is also something to be said for the context in which he is playing. New England is not a loaded roster. There are holes in the secondary, questions along the offensive line, and an overall transition happening as the team searches for a new identity post-Brady. For May to step into that environment and not just survive but thrive is telling. He is not being protected by an elite run game or a dominant defense that carries him. He is being asked to make plays and often to keep the team alive with his arm. That is why the conversation about whether he is already a top 10 quarterback feels less like a stretch and more like an honest evaluation. Looking at the middle of the pack gives even more weight to the argument. Quarterbacks such as Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott have the contracts and the name recognition, but do they inspire the same confidence right now? Prescott has had issues with turnovers and questionable decision-making, while Murray, despite his electrifying athleticism, has struggled to consistently put it all together. Then you look at Brock Purdy, who made it to a Super Bowl with San Francisco's system around him. He has proven he can win, but his ceiling may not be as high as May's. The more you go down the list, the clearer it becomes that this rookie is not just a nice story. He is already better than a good portion of the league's starters. The Patriots coaching staff sees it too. That is why they have been willing to put the ball in his hands and let him dictate games rather than hiding him behind conservative play calling. Of course, there have been mistakes. Every rookie quarterback has them, whether it is an interception from trying to squeeze a throw into double coverage or holding onto the ball too long against a blitz. What matters more is how he responds. May has shown a short memory, shaking off errors and coming right back with confidence. That is the mark of a quarterback who will last. And yet, as much as this is about his individual rise, it also ties back to the larger picture for the Patriots. A team that looked lost at times in the years after Brady suddenly has a centerpiece again. With Gonzalez nearing a return on defense and the possibility of adding another veteran presence in the secondary, there's a sense that the building blocks are falling into place. The AFC is loaded, but if you have a quarterback who can go toe-to-toe with the elite and a defense that can hold up its end of the bargain, you at least give yourself a chance every week. That is where New England is heading, and it feels like the beginning of something rather than the end. The rest of the season will reveal just how high this climb can go. The matchups against Carolina, Buffalo, and New Orleans will test both sides of the ball. The Panthers provide an opportunity to build momentum, but then the Bills will be a measuring stick against one of the most explosive teams in the league. A trip to New Orleans is never easy, regardless of the Saints' record, because that stadium is unforgiving and the atmosphere intense. The Titans and Browns bring defenses that punish mistakes, which means May's decision-making will be critical. By the time that stretch is over, we will know a lot more about where this Patriots team truly stands. Through it all, the spotlight will remain firmly on Drake May. Can he keep this trajectory going, refining his accuracy, improving his timing with receivers, and cutting down on avoidable turnovers? If he does, then the conversation about being a top 10 quarterback will only get louder. It may even evolve into a debate about whether he belongs in the same tier as the names that dominate MVP chatter. For now, it is enough that he has given New England hope and given fans a reason to believe that the future at quarterback is bright again. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The New England Patriots are shaking up the rumor mill once again. And this time, all signs point to a massive defensive boost for the 2025 season. Word swirling around the NFL grapevine is that DANIELLE Hunter, one of the league's most feared edge rushers, is set to join the Patriots roster. While no official announcement has landed yet, sources close to the situation suggest that New England has been quietly working behind the scenes to secure the explosive pass rusher who could redefine the team's defensive identity. Hunter, known for his uncanny ability to disrupt quarterbacks and wreak havoc in the backfield, would be a game-changer for the Patriots. Over the years, he has built a reputation as a relentless force on the edge, with a blend of speed, power, and football intelligence that makes opposing offenses nervous long before the ball is snapped. For a Patriots defense that has occasionally struggled to generate consistent pressure, The potential arrival of Hunter could signal a strategic shift under Bill Belichick's watchful eye. Insiders hint that negotiations have been progressing quietly but seriously, with the Patriots reportedly confident they can lock down a deal before the season kicks off. While the specifics of contracts and cap space remain murky, the mere prospect of Hunter in Foxborough has already sent ripples through NFL circles. Fans are buzzing on social media. Analysts are speculating on the defensive schemes, and rival teams are suddenly reassessing their game plans. Could this be the missing piece that propels New England back to perennial dominance in the AFC? The whispers suggest it might just be. Of course, until an official statement arrives from the Patriots front office, everything remains in the realm of rumor and speculation. Yet, if the reports hold water, the Patriots' 2025 defensive outlook just got a whole lot scarier. DANIELLE, Hunter on the edge? Opposing quarterbacks may want to start checking the schedule now. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.